She's not special. You think she is because your standards are buried so deep in the dirt you couldn't see them anymore. You're worshipping ordinary women like they're goddesses. You're chasing approval from people who wouldn't cross the street to help you. You're building pedestals for women who wouldn't build a sandwich for your hunger. This isn't love. This isn't romance. This is self-destruction with a pretty face. The battlefield of modern dating, the dating world, has become a marketplace where men compete by lowering their standards and women compete by raising their demands. You've been conditioned to believe that any female attention is a gift. Any relationship is better than none. Any crumb of affection should be treasured like gold. This is poison in your bloodstream. Nature designed you to be selective. Evolution programmed you to choose quality over quantity, substance over appearance, character over convenience. But society has rewired your brain to accept mediocrity and call it blessing. The result: you're attracted to women who don't deserve your time, pursuing relationships that drain your energy, and calling it happiness when it's actually slow suicide. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. He could have had any woman in the known world. Yet he wrote extensively about the importance of choosing quality companions, people who elevated rather than diminished his character. He understood what you've forgotten. The company you keep shapes the man you become. You're not choosing partners. You're choosing your future self. Choose poorly, and you become poor in spirit, ambition, and respect. The Stoic foundation of high standards. The ancient Stoics didn't compromise on what mattered. They understood that standards aren't about being picky, they're about being strong. They're about knowing your worth and refusing to accept less than you deserve. Seneca wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Your old self, the one who accepts scraps and calls them meals, must die for your powerful self to be born. Epictetus, who survived slavery and became a teacher of emperors, knew that dignity comes from within. No one can give it to you. No one can take it away. But you can surrender it by accepting treatment below your worth. This is the battle you must win, the battle for your own standards. The 3 pillars of Stoic standards. Step 1. Define your non-negotiables. Most men have no idea what they actually want in a woman because they've never taken time to think beyond physical attraction. They're operating on biological programming without conscious intention. This makes you easy to manipulate, easy to settle, easy to control. Your standards aren't a wish list. They're your constitution. They're the laws that govern your romantic life. Write them down, make them clear, make them absolute. Character comes first. Not her Instagram followers, not her appearance, not her social status. Character. How does she treat people who can't benefit her? How does she handle stress? Does she build up or tear down? Does she add value to your life or subtract it? Compatibility comes second. Do your life visions align? Do you share core values? Can you respect each other's goals without needing to change them? Chemistry comes third. Physical attraction without character is just expensive masturbation. Chemistry without compatibility is just beautiful disaster. Most men reverse this order. They lead with chemistry, hope for compatibility, and ignore character completely. Then they wonder why their relationships explode. The Stoics prioritized virtue above all else, in partners, in friends, in themselves. Virtue is attractive because it's rare. It's powerful because it's consistent. It's valuable because it lasts. Step 2. Enforce your standards without apology. Having standards means nothing if you don't enforce them. Every compromise you make teaches people what you'll accept. Every exception you allow becomes the new rule. You think you're being understanding. You're being weak. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. When someone violates your standards, respond with consequences, not conversations. Actions teach. Words hope. The woman who disrespects your time doesn't need an explanation about time management. She needs to experience the consequence of losing access to your time. The woman who treats you poorly doesn't need a lecture about respect. She needs to learn that poor treatment results in withdrawal of your presence. This isn't cruelty. This is clarity. You're not punishing her, you're protecting yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does." Stop trying to manage other people's behavior. Start managing your responses to their behavior. Your standards are your boundaries in action. Enforce them or abandon them. There's no middle ground. Step 3. Become the man your standards demand. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You can't demand what you do and demonstrate. You can't require what you don't represent. You can't expect what you don't reflect. If you want a woman with discipline, you must be disciplined. If you want a woman with integrity, you must have integrity. If you want a woman who's improving herself, you must be improving yourself. Most men want to date up while refusing to level up. They want premium women while offering discount value. This is delusion masquerading as ambition. The Stoics understood that attraction isn't negotiable. You can't argue someone into wanting you. You can't convince someone to respect you. You can't persuade someone to love you. But you can become the kind of man who naturally attracts what he seeks. This requires brutal self-assessment. What value do you bring? What problems do you solve? What experiences do you offer? What growth do you inspire? If you can't answer these questions, you don't have standards, you have fantasies. Build yourself into the man who deserves what he wants, Everything else is just wishful thinking. The illusion of scarcity. You worship ordinary women because you believe good women are rare. This belief is your prison. Quality women exist. They're looking for quality men, but they're invisible to you because you're focused on the wrong things. You're hunting where everyone else hunts. You're competing in markets where the product is overvalued and the customers are desperate. The woman scrolling through 50 dating app matches doesn't need another desperate message. The woman seeking attention on social media doesn't need another The woman playing games with multiple men doesn't need another player. They need nothing from you because they already have everything they want. Unlimited options from men with no standards. Stop shopping in the bargain bin and wondering why everything is damaged. High-quality women are attracted to high-quality men who demonstrate high-quality standards. They respect selectivity because they practice it themselves. The cost of low standards. Every relationship below your standards costs you more than being alone. It costs you energy, time, money, and most importantly, it costs you the opportunity to meet someone who actually matches your worth. You settle for less and call it compromise. You accept disrespect and call it understanding. You tolerate behavior you despise and call it love. This isn't mature. This isn't patient. This isn't kind. This is self-hatred disguised as nobility. The Stoics taught that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your choices. Every day you spend with someone who does not meet your standards is a day stolen from your potential happiness. Seneca wrote, "It is likely that some troubles will befall us, but it is not a present fact." You torture yourself with fears of being alone, of never finding someone, of dying unloved. These are fears, not facts. The fact is this: a relationship that makes you lesser is worse than no relationship at all. The transformation here is what happens when you raise your standards and enforce them without compromise. You stop being desperate and start being selective. Desperation repels quality. Selectivity attracts it. You stop settling and start inspiring. When you demonstrate high standards, you encourage others to rise to meet them. You stop competing with other men and start competing with your former self. Quality recognizes quality. You attract what you are, not what you want. Become worth wanting, and you'll be wanted by the worthy. Your entire dating experience changes. Instead of chasing, you're choosing. Instead of hoping, you're expecting. Instead of accepting, you're approving. She's not special because you chose her. She's special because she earned the right to be chosen by a man with standards. Your standards aren't about being difficult. They're about being intentional. They're not about being picky. They're about being powerful. The world will tell you to lower your expectations. Society will pressure you to compromise your requirements. People will call you unrealistic, demanding, impossible to please. Good, that's the sound of weak people recognizing strength they don't possess. Don't lower your standards. Raise your value. Don't compromise your requirements, exceed them yourself. Don't make exceptions. Make examples. Like if you're ready to stop settling, subscribe if you're ready to start demanding what you deserve. Then get back to work building the man worthy of the woman you actually want. Your standards aren't the problem. Your lack of them is.